So I'm here in sunny Macduff, a wonderful part of Aberdeenshire, stood down by the harbour, right at the centre of Macduff. It's part of the flourishing growth and regeneration of Macduff. And whilst Aberdeenshire is one of the most rural parts of the whole of Scotland by virtue of how we live across Aberdeenshire, the town centres across the Shire are really vital for us in terms of how we live and how we work and how things happen on a day-to-day basis. So as a council, we've made a decision to adopt a policy called Town Centre First. And that means that every decision that we make as officers, and particularly through committees, has to have a formal assessment about whether the impact on the town centre is a positive or negative one. That keeps it at the forefront of our minds. It's really important that we do that. Clearly we are using town centres in a different way. The world around us is changing, the way we live, the way we work, the way we shop. It's all moving and changing. But even with that, town centres remain right at the heart and right at the centre of Aberdeenshire. In your day-to-day lives, whatever serves you are, I'd really encourage you to think about what impact your decisions and your activity has on the town centre and how we can be positive. Now clearly if you're in planning, you've got a very clear opportunity to influence matters there. If you're on property, if you're on housing, thinking about which sites we develop, where we deploy our funds and our assets in terms of money, in terms of redevelopment of new housing stock. If you're in social work, you may think about where you're going with your clients or service users. If you're holding meetings and other services, think about where it is you're going to be going with your colleagues. If you're just out on yourself, like I am today, then where are you going to spend your time, where are you going to spend your money? How can we support businesses in many different ways, for example through economic development as well. So when you stop and take that step back, I think you'll start to realise every service can and does have an impact on our town centres. So my ask and my encouragement of you is to do your best to make sure they continue to be such a wonderful part of the fabric of Aberdeenshire and they can sustain and thrive in a really wonderful way for many years ahead.